Right. Well, first of all, what I'll do is I'll be intelligent. So I'm not very intelligent all the time. So it's quite a surprise. And I'll copy the YouTube link and send it to Lee, so he finds it easy. I might also send it.
Welcome to the live stream.
Yeah. If you're already watching this, then how are you already watching this? And well done. You get
Nobody on yet.
but send it to the group chat like an absolute seagull. Don't want to show seagull there, but hey ho, you get the point. Who can I send a live stream to? This is a good question.
On the SMRC Marshals page.
Huh?
You could stick it on the SMRC Marshals page.
You could do that.
Just remember though that anything that is said right now still records and goes onto YouTube, whether there's somebody watching it or not.
Oh yeah, I know. Make it sound like we say some like horrific, like war crime things on here. It was really bad times. I think Lee might have just joined us. I said that. If he did, that'd be hilarious. But yeah, we move on, I guess. But right, yeah. So happy days. Do you want me to introduce, or do you want to do it?
Batter in, mate.
There we go. What do people going to say? I haven't thought this far. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the From the Banking podcast. We missed last week, but there's been so much going on in the motorsport world in August. So we've got tons of new sprint here. Most of it you probably already heard, but we're going to get our thoughts on it and just come out with everything that's come out really over the last couple of weeks. There's plenty to talk about.
There's plenty to talk about, but I just want to get one thing in for the older people. We have lost 3 icons in the past 2 or 3 days. Rest in peace, Dolly Parton. Rest in peace, Dr. Frankenfurter, Tim Curry, and rest in peace, the voice of my childhood, Peter Cullen, also known as the voice of Optimus Prime.
Yeah,
what a week it has been for that. That is absolutely unbelievable. But what I will say to everybody out there is please, 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 somebody check in on David Attenborough.
Yeah, no, I keep hearing that, and it's a good point because I'm scared. So, it does not feel good at the moment.
But luckily, there's not been much happening that way in the motorsport world. Everything's been going along.
You're jinxing it now, man. You're playing a risky game.
Walked away.
So before we actually get to motorsport stuff, I've heard that John wants to give you a live sing-along of Jolene. So I'll let him do that now.
Well, I have no idea where you heard that from, Alan. Now, tomorrow night, by the way, but this will already be live this will go online as a podcast after the event. But tomorrow night I will be at Murrayfield at the Bon Jovi concert. Please, if anybody sees me tomorrow night, please make sure I get home. I live in Johnston. There is a bus meant to be picking us up outside the stadium tomorrow night. If anybody here is watching the live right now on YouTube and they see me tomorrow at Murrayfield, please make sure I get home. You might see one of these hoodies. In fact, you will see one of these hoodies with the logo on the back. So if you see me there, please make sure I get home.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. We're going to skip the Jolene sing-along, so we'll save your ears from that. And we'll launch straight into what I think is probably the biggest headline I've seen in British motorsports in the years that I've been watching it. Plato Racing and CPRL. There is so much going on, and there is so much to talk about.
See, that's the thing. Just before we go deep dive into it, I don't understand how Plato Racing doesn't exist, but the team is still called Cataclean Plato Racing Limited.
I think it's because they've just named it the company. The company behind it is called Cataclean Plato Racing Limited. So they've just gone for that and just gone CPRL, which I think makes sense for the whole administration thing. But it's quite interesting because obviously when it first happened, everyone had no idea what was going on. Plato had said nothing. Plato Racing had said nothing. It took a couple of days for Cataclean to come out with a statement.
Mhm.
Everyone was confused. Now we've got past Donington. Plato's made a statement. Cataclean's made a statement. Touring Car's made a statement. Everyone's made a statement. If you're involved, you've made a statement. You know.
Yeah,
Um.
but you've also got to remember that these things don't happen overnight.
Yeah. No. What
This
happens
this
over
has
quite a
got
certain
to
period.
have been going on for the last couple of months. And even when Jason was up at Knockhill, a couple of weeks back, he was standing next to our post at post 3, and you would never have thought that anything bad was going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Do you
Never would
think,
have thought.
and this is just a personal view between me and Aaron, it's not the views of the podcast, but do you think this has been happening for a while, but they've said, or Jason has maybe said to them, "Can I please get my first win before we announce everything?" It just so happens that it was after their first outright win that it happened.
Well, there's a lot going on with it. From I'm literally using my own article here because I knew I read every defender the dates in this. So what I've got here says that on the 11th of August was when the team actually entered administration. We don't know what happened before that. We don't know the dates before that or anything like that. The 12th of August, there was a meeting about that with administrators, I'm assuming. And then August 17th was when it all got announced. So 10 days ago, as time recording, so it'll be 12 days ago when this comes out. So we know the sort of time was like when the whole administration things happened. We don't know when everything started going on with Plato. Obviously, Friday the touring cars, there was a lot of people waiting for Jason Plato. He didn't turn up really till very late in the day. But at the same time, that's not going to mean anything because Nick Hamilton did the exact same thing. You know, people just stay in the hotel; they don't really need to come in. You know, but it's sort of a case of we don't know, and it's probably best not to turn around and go, "Oh, I think it's going on for ages. I think it's going on for a short time," and
Yeah,
just
I mean,
wait until we
what's
find out.
happened? What's happened with Jason is his own personal information. He might not. He
Yeah.
might divulge it in years to come. He might do like a documentary or a biography or something.
Well,
But with
that's
everything that's went on within that, if he wants to keep it private, he can keep it private. Anyone can speculate all they like, but as long as Jason and Cataclean know the proper true story, I suppose that's all that matters.
well, something that's been brought up as well that I've heard about is at the start of the season, it got announced that there'd be a documentary made on Plato Racing on the
Yes,
first
I've
season of
seen the
it.
first couple of episodes.
Yeah. So what's happening with that? And are we gonna? Is that the way we're gonna find out what's going on? Because I think it might be.
Possibly could be. But again, I'm sorry to diverge off of Plato Racing. But and I hate to bring this up because the guy was on the podcast and he was an absolutely brilliant guest. Do we know what's happening with the Shift movie? That's
No
went
idea.
very quiet.
Um, there's been a lot of I know there's a lot behind the scenes work to get a movie made.
Mhm.
Um, but quite frankly, it's gone quiet. We don't really know what's going on. Um, I'm gonna assume that they've come across some sort of budget or production issues,
Yeah,
and they've hit a standstill. So hopefully, it still gets made. Probably over a longer time, I'd imagine. But yeah,
yeah.
don't really know.
Mm.
Um,
And sorry, back to the Pluto Racing thing. Now, Cataclean have always been the biggest sponsor. It's the biggest sponsor alongside the car. So why did Cataclean not just buy out the debt or whatever it is, but keep Jason running the team? He's brought a team from not even having a cable tie to winning races within a year.
yeah.
Some Something must have happened somewhere that the two of them have fell out.
So obviously, we know that Cataclean and Plato, it wasn't a case of Plato owning a majority of the team. It was an exact 50-50 split. So that's why Cataclean were able to enter administration on behalf of Plato Racing. Um, which a lot of people have said that wasn't the smartest move, Jason. But then again, that might have been the deal breaker for Cataclean. There has
Am
been
I right?
speculation.
Am I
Go on.
right saying that um, Robo actually has a stake in the team as well?
Yes, he does. I believe that might be in part of Cat Queen's stake because
Okay.
obviously Cat Queen sponsored them him the entire time he's been in the touring car, as far as I'm aware. He's been their long-term driver. Um, but there has been some speculation about Cat Queen that are going to take the teams themselves, possibly, which again we don't really know much about at the moment. We do know that the team at the moment is being referred to as Cat Clean or Mercedes during the live broadcast. So I think Mercedes is very happy with that because they're getting a free touring car team at this point. Which I would not be complaining about if I was Mercedes. But it's a very odd situation because, like, it's something you don't see in touring cars. You see drivers drop out.
Yeah.
Like that's what happened in, all the time between Knockhill and Donington. James Dolan dropped out for Daniel Lloyd. But
Yeah, I
then
mean,
you
Mikey
never see
Doble,
teams.
he told us on the podcast that a lot of the drivers on the grid actually
Yeah,
fund themselves.
yeah. But when you look at it, I think the last time a team, like the shortest time a team's been out in the British Touring Car Championship was, I need to find the name of it here. It's Team Atomic Kitten with 175 days between their first and last race.
I remember that Team Atomic Kitten. Yeah, you're probably are you maybe a bit young to remember Atomic Kitten? They were a girl band.
I was watching touring cars at that point, but
Right.
I did my research on it, so I know a little bit. But yeah, so they lasted 175 days. Plate Racing's only 112, so they are the shortest team in touring car history. If you don't count CPRL as Plate Racing, that is, but it depends who you are really.
Yeah,
Um,
and they've probably had a lot more media coverage than that team you mentioned actually ever got. Team Atomic Kitten. They probably got more media at because of who was the team boss.
as far as I'm aware, Team Atomic Kitten. While we're talking about just sort of teams in this, it's a very interesting one. I'm sure it was some sort of pop band, was it not? Atomic
It
Kitten.
was. It was a girl band. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and it was WSR. They were with them, sure.
So were they
And they
were they more a headline sponsor, and that's why they called the team Atomic Kitten?
yeah, I'm pretty sure. But it was like I suppose it's a bit like you could say LKQ car parts. How it's if you look at independent standings, it's LKQ car parts with Permax Racing.
Yeah.
So it's sort of a separate team because they split it in half, don't they? PMR. But yeah. But going back, I'm sidetracking. Going back to Play Racing. It is very. Something I've never seen before in my life. A team like Plato winning, getting the first ever 1-2 in a weekend, with one of the most like sort of pop liveries on the grids, to 2 weeks later, rocking up to Donington Park with a blacked out car with just some white logos over it. And then they're still winning anyways, which surprised me quite a lot. I thought they'd drop off a bit, but they're still winning.
But
But
to be
just the
fair, the
brand
car
of the
that
team.
raced at
Yeah.
Donington was the same car that raced at Knockhill. It just didn't have the same livery on it.
But
So
I
if it's
thought,
fast there, it should be fast there.
yeah, I thought it would have been a lot going on within the team. Like, I mean, it's crazy to me how it's Adam Morgan, yeah. Adam Morgan is able to win at Knockhill, we'll play at racing, have all that go on in just 2 weeks, mind you. Not like that's like an off season worth of drama. That was 2 weeks. Get to Donington and then go and win again.
Yeah.
I mean, that is some insane mental strength there.
But the only thing I can see as an outsider, the only thing I can see that's actually changed within that team is the person with the name Plato. Everything else is the same. The
Yeah.
staff is the same, the car's the same, the
Um,
mechanics the same, the trucks, everything is the same. The only thing that is different is JP is no longer at the side of the circuit.
yeah. I'm gonna get up Plato Racing's statement at the moment. Because it is quite an interesting one. Not Plato Racing, Jason Plato's statement. So I'll get up now, and I would read that if it was on Instagram, and it's not. So I need to go grab it off somewhere else. So here we go. So Plate Racing statement. Should I read it out in full, do you reckon? Go for it. Hell yeah, I'm gonna start a lot doing this. So, Jason Plato says, earlier this week, and this was released on Donington Park Sunday, I learned that my involvement in the company and the racing operation I created back in July 2025 has been terminated. I was removed from my positions as CEO, director, and team principal without warning, explanation, or discussion. The decision has left me stunned and deeply unsettled. My 26-year driving career in the British Touring Car Championship from 1997 to 2022, and my return to the grid with Plato Racing this season after the struggles I faced in retirement, means the world to me. I remain truly grateful for the opportunities, the success, and the relationships formed with sponsors, colleagues, rival teams, and, of course, the fans along the way. To establish a brand new BTCC team from nothing, not a nut, bolt, or even a tie wrap to its name, under 6 months, and to secure pole position on our debut at Donington Park was a significant. I can't speak. Was a significant achievement against considerable odds. The team then delivered exponentially. I can't. I honestly can't read. Strong results at Knockhill 2 weeks ago, taking first and second places in the opening race, followed by two further podium finishes. In qualifying at Donington Park yesterday, the team was once again on top of the charts. These results represent a remarkable collective team effort, an achievement of which I am immensely proud of. My backing for the team remains absolute, which is quite a key bit there. He's not saying this is he dropped out of the team. He's just anti team note. He's still there because it's still his team in his eyes, really, it seems. Even though I'm no longer involved and will not be present at Donington Park this weekend. I hope the drivers and team personnel enjoy a successful race weekend, which it definitely did. The warmth shown to me by my fellow competitors, long-time friends, sponsors, the media and fans across motorsport and beyond over recent days has been overwhelming and is truly deeply valued. To have built Plato Racing and contributed to the BTCC for more than 25 years remains an important chapter in my life, and the chapter is not over yet. Because of the manner of my enforced departure and the impact it's had on both my aspirations and my mental health, I will be making no further public comments on these matters for the time being. So that's Split Racing's statement.
Yep. So you've
Um,
done the statement. I will do the BTCC statement.
yeah, go on, hit me, John.
So this isn't the Cataclean statement. This is the statement from TOCA. Following today's statement from Cataclean, 18th of August, TOCA confirms the team will continue competing in the 2026 Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship under a new name and management structure in order that it can move positively forward. The matters concerned are internal to the organisation and relate solely to its directors, shareholders, and relevant parties. TOCA is not privy to these matters. However, TOCA has been provided with assurances of the team's participation in the BTCC going forward. Those assurances reflect Cataclean's continuing commitment and confidence in both the team and the championship. We understand that the programme will operate through a new entity without further involvement of Jason Plato in its management or ownership. In the interim, the team will be entered as CPRL. Jason is unquestionably one of the BTCC's greatest stars, and his exceptional record speaks for itself. He has long been and will remain a valued part of the BTCC family. Although his involvement with this particular venture appears to have reached its conclusion, we look forward to seeing Jason in the BTCC paddock in the future. So that does tell me that everything that's happened with JP and the team has been nothing to do with TOCA. TOCA seemed very happy to have him back in the paddock as a your face and obviously on behalf of TOCA. So that cements for me that it is completely a Cataclean JP issue, nothing to do with TOCA.
Yeah, I mean,
I
Cataclean's
just wanted to add that in.
statement
It's nothing to
pretty
do with
much reads the same, in all things considered. It's basically Touring Car Cataclean basically said the team's going to run CPRL, deal with it. But it still feels incredibly odd that we've gone from where we were at with Plato Racing. I mean, one of the most beloved teams on the grid. To
Yeah,
just
it says to me that it just sounds, and I'm not saying Cataclean have done it this way, it just doesn't add up in my head. I'm old enough in the tooth to semi understand how business works. and you don't win a race on a Sunday and then on the Monday morning say, "Right, you're out the door." It just
Yeah.
something just doesn't add up. Has this been ongoing for a long time and it's been kept from JP? Has it been going on for a long time and JP really hasn't been interested in it, so nobody's told him about it? I don't know.
I mean,
It's got to have been going on for at least 2 or 3 months, at least.
yeah, I mean, one of the things that's been talked about quite a bit is the costs that have been sustained by the team, and there is a net loss of over £800,000, which, in the grand scheme of things, you start a British touring car team. When you think about it, it's a lot of money, but for starting a touring car team, it's not too bad. It's been made to seem a lot worse by media.
Yeah,
Um,
but it's where the costs come from because the fixed
yeah,
costs are gonna be your entry fees, your traveling to different circuits. That will all have been calculated in advance. They would have known how much that's gonna cost. I know there's a bit of a fluctuation in fuel prices at the moment, but generally speaking, your entrance fees, your fuel, your tyres, you know how much that is gonna cost. You can calculate that 12 months in advance.
yeah.
Is there have they taken on too many people? But obviously not, because Cataclean haven't paid anybody off apart from JP.
Yeah. So it seems there's a lot of public opinion on this at the moment, and there's a lot of talk about what possibly happened.
Mhm.
Now, what I'm about to say, I'm not saying this has happened at all. Like, this is not what we're saying has happened.
What you're saying is this is an Aaron viewpoint, not a from the
No,
bankers
this is
viewpoint.
not this is not even my viewpoint. This is just a
Okay.
general public viewpoint at the moment and a conspiracy
Mhm.
that possibly people believe that Cataclean and Rowbottom have basically taken Plato Racing, got 50-50 split in a team, and then when the team's got successful and they've got the sponsors and they've got the money in this, they've used Plato's name to get all that and then taken the team from there, and then they'll take next season be Cataclean, which I think is a very long stretch, but
It's
at
a
the
very
same
long stretch
time,
in my eyes because you're doing this in front of millions of people.
yeah,
And just like you said, people are talking about it. You wouldn't want people talking about it if that was what your
it's a
plan.
very there's a lot going on with it, and it's a very odd situation, to say the least, with it really. Um, but yeah, I think we've pretty much covered everything we can on it at the moment, really.
Yeah, I think we should probably move on.
Yeah.
Probably to would you want to go on to the Donington race?
Well, before we do, I've got one of my friends in the chat, Dylan, wants to talk a bit about bike racing. There's actually still bike racing we could talk about. Not for long, because I didn't really watch it. But I can say, not got a very interesting event over the weekend. Do you know what that event was, John?
I have no idea. I will be honest with everybody out there that watches these videos and listens to the podcast. I have absolutely no interest in bike racing whatsoever. Over to you, Aaron.
Yeah, I have some sort of interest. I mostly just marshal it. But I can tell you, over the weekend, there was actually another bike meet not kill, but an interesting one. No limits bike racing, which
Limits? What does no limits mean?
Um, good question, well presented. I'm not too sure, but they are very quick bikes, and it was their first ever trip to Knockdown over the weekend.
Okay.
And I can report that somebody I know, Kean McDonald, who typically races in the Scottish series, made an absolute bomb of a move that he posted on TikTok into the hairpin. It's an audacious dive bomb. If you see it on TikTok, you will know what I'm talking about because it is absolutely brilliant. But yeah, it was like good fun. It was a pretty good big event for Knockhill. I think it's about the third, fourth maybe biggest event this year they've had at the track. But yeah, it's quite interesting. So Dylan, there's your bike racing. Have fun, mate.
Am I right in thinking that the first ever Knockhill was made for bike racing to
It
start
was
with?
made for bike racing. You're right. 1974, I believe it started off with bike racing, and in '75, cars started racing.
Wow, that's even before my time.
Yeah, that's in a lot. Um, um, but yeah, so we'll move on to Donington. And before we even start to talk about Ash Sutton winning and CPRL doing well, Jesus Christ, Lewis Gilbert. Yeah. So I'm
It
gonna
was
run
it
you
was it
through.
did he think he was driving a legend or something?
Right. Okay, we've got public opinion on this one as well. There's a lot. to talk about of this crash. First of all, Jesus Christ, these touring cars are strong
Oh
because
yeah,
that is a brilliant display of safety in a British touring car.
yeah. It just goes to
Um,
show how much Toka have invested and spent the time with the teams making the safety of these cars.
yeah,
It's like
I
the
mean,
FIA and Formula One. They're the ones that give the all the stuff to the teams to say, right, it must be built to this spec, this spec, this spec. It's the same idea. Toka, I believe Toka do that with all the teams as well. So
yeah,
it's good on Toka's part that the safety is so good.
but yeah, no, it was a monumental incident. Secondly, are we sure Isaac Newton was right about the laws of physics? Because that did not obey whatever he just said. Because I have no idea how a car hits the ground, does a bunny hop, and does a flip in the air and just lands again. Like, are we in
I
Mario
think
Kart?
I think maybe I've not seen it in slow motion. I'll be honest with you, but I get the impression that he's lost it. He's hit the grass, and then he's maybe hit a divot or something in the grass,
Well,
which has bounced it up, and then the inertia of the speed has just made it.
yeah. Well, before we start ranting and raving on a bit of Crash, first of all, I can say Lewis Gilbert was completely fine, walked away. He was perfectly good, which is great to see. But second of all, I'll walk you through what actually happened in the Crash. So, race one, lap one. You know it's going to be great. We're going into the Melbourne hairpin, which is the penultimate corner at Donington Park GP. And we've got Lewis Gilbert on the left hand side, and we've got his name? What's the Team Vertu driver? Tom Chilton, that's it. On the right hand side. And Gilbert's pushing him across a little bit, but he still left base for Chilton to be there and space in a bit, you know? So they've definitely got racing room. It appears that Chilton isn't really happy with that racing room, tries to turn left and sort of push Gilbert a bit wider out and accidentally pit maneuvers him. And the way the barriers are going into Melbourne hairpin is they aren't just a straight barrier. It's a straight barrier that tilts out with left, leaves an opening for cars and marshals to go through. Then another barrier start. So where one of these openings is, Lewis Gilbert has spun and hit it, driver's side of the car. So he's hit the front bit of that and then rebounded back onto the second bit of the barrier and hit that with the rear end. Then slid across the grass, hit a divot, done a massive up in the air fin, lands back down, basically bunny hops, does a barrel roll in the air, and then lands again. Very confusing crash. I know I will say there's a brilliant photo of it, of Tom Chilton passing him as he's in the air, flipping, which is a brilliant photo considering that I don't want to say Tom caused the crash, but Tom was involved in the crash.
It's like something out of the night. Have you ever heard of the Nitro Circus?
No.
No. So the Nitro Circus is a stunt show um, on a massive scale. I mean, it's like monster trucks and bikes, like the Red Bull type stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like it was like something like out of a nitrous where a car would flip, somebody would drive underneath it, like you see in the movies and stuff.
Oh right, yeah. But I will say my live reaction to that was one of a lot of confusion because they show you the replay, you see him hit the ball. That doesn't look that bad. Oh, he flies it. You see him fly in the air. Oh, and he hits the ground and big bunny hops his barrel in the air. What? He just. I've got a video of it. It's funny. I posted it because I won't post on TikTok for a while, to be fair. But so Donington race one, that was the main talking point. And then CPRL wins with Adam Morgan after they won a qualifying race on the Saturday as well. It was a
Yeah,
pretty good race, to be fair.
I did say at the beginning of this year, watch out for the Mercedes.
Yeah, they've got it down now. It will look interesting. Obviously, Adam Morgan's causing in on the top three in the championship quite quickly. So it's going to be quite interesting. And then obviously you had Tom Chilton as well, stopping dead on the track at some after the safety car for Gilbert,
Mm.
which I don't know what on earth happened there, but that happened. So that was race one, pretty much. Race two, I was in the middle of playing a rugby game, which was not very enjoyable because I got battered. So I can tell you that Ash Sutton, no, not Ash Sutton, Camish won. Bancam won with Ash and P2, and CPRL weren't on the podium, I don't think, or were they?
I can't remember.
Fair enough, mate. But there wasn't too much going on in the race. There was a good bit of racing. And then we saw Daniel Lloyd have some horrible luck in his return to the British Touring Cars, and his car go up in flames, which he got in a bit of trouble for. If you didn't
Oh,
know,
did he?
social media.
Why did he get into trouble?
He posted a photo of the car on fire on social media and took it down because all the sponsors' logos are up in flames, and the sponsors weren't very happy with
Ah,
it.
I understand now. I understand now why.
Yeah, which is quite funny. But hopefully, we don't get in too much trouble for that. I mean, you can't really control fire, but you can't control something, I guess. But hey, we'll know that. And then race 3. Um, all I'm saying, Aidan Moffat dominance. We are here for that.
I did see your post about that. I'll be honest, I didn't watch it. It's still on the telly box down the stairs. Watched the last race, but I did see your post. So Moffat won that one, did he?
Yes, Moffat. Oh no, he came third.
Oh, he came
He got the
third.
podium. And Adam Morgan won again for race 3.
Ah.
But Aidan Moffat get the podium, and as well, all the Scottish drivers did pretty well this weekend, apart from one. So we'll just Lewis will just say, "I'm sorry, mate. We'll just brush aside for a minute." But Shedden, Patson, Moffat all did quite well this weekend. Great to see the Scots do well, and it's great to see CPRL doing well as well after everything's gone over.
Aye, no, excellent. So we'll diverge a bit from BTCC. Last weekend, obviously there was no podcast, but there was the last ever Formula One race at Zandvoort.
There's a lot to talk about, isn't there? And there was Caterham Festival as well the weekend before that.
Yeah, boring.
I was in shock. We'll talk about Caterham Festival a little bit because there was some talking points in that. But the Dutch Grand Prix.
Yeah,
What,
I'll
what,
be honest. I was going to say the Dutch Grand Prix for me was pretty boring. For saying it was the last one at Zandvoort, it wasn't any really spectacular for me, if I'm honest.
yeah. All that matters, Lando Norris won, Max DNF. That was quite sad. We all cried. And Audi had the reflexes of a cat.
Yeah,
Actually, Grand Prix stuff fancy.
that was some save.
Yeah. So now we've done Dutch Grand Prix.
That was the Dutch Grand Prix in a nutshell.
Yeah, and science. William Civil War going on.
Aye.
And
I
also,
think the only people that changed positions was Antonelli and Russell. I think it
I
basically
didn't watch the race. I was too busy. I was busy playing rugby again.
basically it finished the way it started, apart from they two swap round.
And as well, we had.
Go on, Caterham Festival. I know you want to talk about it. On
No,
you go.
it was something else to go talk about. I've forgotten now. Oh yeah, Franco Colapinto today signed an extension with Alpine.
That again?
Franco Colapinto extended with Alpine. So that's interesting. That's quite a good social media post, to be fair. I like that post. It's a good little skit, to be fair. It's nice. But yeah, we'll go to the Caterham Festival knockout. John obviously wasn't a big fan of it, but
And the cars looked a lot faster than I've ever seen them before, but that's just where I was positioned. I was on post 1 for the Caterham Festival. And listen,
yeah,
the guys came up and it was a big grid. There was lots and lots and lots of Caterhams there. It just wasn't that exciting there. I mean, wasn't well, it means the drivers are actually pretty decent drivers, but there wasn't much for our guys to do.
oh,
We actually got full lunch breaks on both the days. And I think we finished a little bit later on the Saturday, but we actually finished early on the Sunday.
yeah, but let's be fair.
So that is a lot to do with the tremendous team up in race control. Just keeping things
So,
going.
John, do you reckon you could talk for about 2.5 minutes while I go and grab something?
Probably not. But the
Too bad, do it. Cinema.
Completely understand. No, I actually probably could talk for a couple of minutes because I can ramble a lot of rubbish all the time. Well, that's what I'm told in the house anyway. But you will probably notice behind me there are a couple of new things that are kicking about. So these are things that we're working on, and this is to do with the merchandise. So this isn't it's an old MSUK bottle that I was given years ago, but it's now branded from the banking. They're going to be coming very soon. We also have these style of cups for your coffee. They're going to be coming very soon. Again, from the banking branded. These will be available on the website. This design I'm not too sure on yet. These are all samples, by the way. This design I'm not too sure on yet because it's quite colourful, but the from the banking logo kind of gets lost a little bit on it. But yeah, they will be coming soon as well. You may also notice there are some designs for the clothing merch, which are slowly coming out. We are working on some of these. So this one has TikTok, Spotify, YouTube, and a QR code. The QR code will take you directly to our Spotify channel. I've got a massive one on the back of this one as well. Like I say, we've had the logos and everything's been delivered. It's just trying to find out the right way we want it to look on the clothing. Is a big one too much? Do we need just like little ones like this here, little one with the website and that on it? Do we just want that? Do we want things down there? So it is it's a work in progress. But these things, excuse me, will be coming to the website very, very shortly. We're in the final stages now. It's just a case of finding the right kind of materials for the t-shirts, the hoodies, um, and it's a bit, it's my thing, but I have
Yes.
logo on it as well. So yeah, so all these three here will be coming to the website very, very shortly. Hopefully within a couple of weeks. They will be loaded up and they will be sent out to you. I've still got to finalise the carriage charges for these things because they will have to be in a slight box, which means it has to go as Royal Mail large post. But that will all be added at checkout. If you want one of these lovely mugs, we're going to keep it to probably t-shirts, hoodies, and mugs to start with, just because the hoodies keep you warm when you're on the banking. These you can put your coffee in when you're on the banking, and the same with the t-shirts. What I will say is it's unlikely that you're going to have this colour of hoodie. You probably won't be able to buy a yellow hoodie, a red hoodie, a green hoodie, or a blue hoodie, just because you couldn't really wear it on the banking because it clashes with the flags. Um, Aaron's back. Hello, Aaron. I think I managed to waffle on for about 3 minutes there.
Yeah. So Blair McConaughey, number 34 and 310R, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant guy, great sport. The only thing is, he got a burst radiator on the weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and he kind of destroyed his front bonnet.
Uh-huh. Oh, is this the one you
I
found
have
next to
said
the
front
bin?
bonnet.
That the one you found next to the bin? You went back
Yes.
and got him to sign it, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. You would have known about this. I'm just showing this to the people because this is cool. This is what you call a souvenir, people. And see, I used to
This
keep my
this is
photos.
what can happen if you want to start marshalling. Get yourself onto
Yeah,
motorsportuk.org,
exactly.
get
Yeah,
it all filled out, and you could be at the side of a circuit, marshalling caterums and all that kind of stuff, and picking up some of these wee goodies like Aaron did at the weekend there. I don't know how
that's
you're
meant to
going
be
to fit that on your wall, if I'm honest with you, mate. But it's a good
huh?
gift. Well, not a gift. It's a good haul you got from the circuit.
Yeah, I mean the plan is to cut little edge bits of the side of it, and then we'll probably hook it on somewhere. I'm not sure where, but because everywhere here my walls are covered, so I don't know where to go. But we'll figure it out when it comes to it. But yeah, so quite a cool souvenir. Yeah, I mean it was quite a cool little event.
I
And
did
I
think
have to
that
say,
the academy cars were actually better than the larger cars.
yeah, I was talking to one of the lads in the academy, Ola Murphy, really interesting guy. He is an American Irish racer. Born in Ireland, lived in America, Chicago to be exact, like most of his life. He's taken a break here from mechanical engineering, and this is his work experience racing a Caterham.
That's not bad, eh?
That is quite cool. So you got to give him that. I interviewed him, so see on my TikTok if you are on there. It's just quite interesting, you know what I mean?
Very interesting.
But yeah. What
So,
was I talking
Aaron,
about?
I don't have access to my mouse or keyboard because it's way over there on my desk. Who have we got in the live stream watching just now?
Oh, that's a good question, and that is a well presented question. I don't know.
Oh,
I've
sorry,
just
I can't
started the live
shout you
stream
out
when
individually, but hello to everybody watching. This is the
I know
stuff
that
that you
Dylan was
don't
in the
see
chat.
in the
I'm not.
final edit because I take it all out. Which is
Yeah.
why if we ever put a live stream on, it's always good to watch a live stream because you get to see all the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, it's good laugh, to be fair. So if you're in chat, let us know. We'll say hi to you. We're not scary, I promise. But yeah, so
What
as
else
well,
did we have
it
in
was
the
a bit of a
weekend again? What
milestone.
else was racing that weekend? We had was it Mod Sports?
And the Scottish Minis. Ladies and
Because
gentlemen, I'm talking about this because I want to talk about this so badly.
on anti-clockwise for the Mod Sports, I'm sure that the red kit car had a failure of some sort, went head on into the tyre barrier at post 7, completely wrote that car off, got taken back to the pits, and in the lunch break, another marshal went up to him and said, "Oh, sorry to hear about what happened there." And he went, "That's all right. I've got another one in the motor." He pushed it in, pulled it up, pulled another race car out the bottom. That's why he was out in a different car.
Yeah. See, I'll talk about minis in a minute. We'll talk about that's Ron coming, by the way. We'll talk about Ron first because he did an interview with Bark the next day on the live Bark stream. This guy has about 11 race cars.
Mm.
11. He brings two. The one you saw, the replacement, was the spare car, I suppose, because he's got a massive trailer on the paddock. He gets 2 cars in that minimum.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great. But yeah, so Ron he has 11 cars, 5 of which I believe are Formula cars. 3 of them Formula 3, 2 of them Formula 2. The man's just like loaded with cars because his mechanic was talking to Bark, and he's like, "Yeah, it's great because I just get to go over. He buys all the parts, and I work on the cars. It's minted, you know." But yeah, so yeah, the great is Ron a great weekend getting back out. Didn't have the best luck really, but
Yeah.
oh well, you know what happens.
The one car I was a
Um,
little bit disappointed in with was the white Ford Escort Cosworth because it wasn't the
number.
fastest over the weekend, but that is the car of my youth. That is the car that everybody wanted in the 90s. And
See, I
it
know
was,
what car you're talking about. I need to figure out what number
I think it was
that car is.
216, I believe,
216.
something
Well,
along
my
those lines.
entry list ain't bugging out on me. That'd help a lot. Motorsports 216. There is no 216. There's 217.
It's a white
So
Escort Cosworth anyway.
that's Peter Maxwell, number 27.
127.
But
I
yeah,
was
it's a beautiful
close.
car.
I was
Yeah,
close.
cool. Yeah, there's 2 in it.
I was talking to him in the paddock actually, and he was telling me that he's literally had that car from you.
Fair enough.
He's owned it for
Can't blame him.
so long because he thought I was having a dig at him. I was trying to have a laugh with him, and I walked past him and I went, "Mate, I don't know what issues you've had." I says, "But I apologise for waving all the blue flags at you." And he turned round and he was in the middle of fixing his brakes or something, and he turned round and he went, "You're the second marshal to have a dig at me today." I'm like, "Whoa, mate, I wasn't having a dig. I promise I wasn't having a dig because this is the car of my youth. I love this car." Just slightly disappointed it was as far back as it was, and then he started going into the story and, he's got this today and he's got that today, and he was fixing
No,
the brakes.
fair enough. Yeah, but Motorsports it was alright. It wasn't too eventful, but it was a decent weekend. The Scottish Mini Cooper Cup had probably one of the best race days that I've seen for them in a while.
But
Because
that's because car number 59 had a From the Banking sticker on it.
yeah, it is actually Liam Kelsall. But there was a lot going on, so I'm gonna rant through this. I'm gonna give myself how many minutes should I give myself, John? 5?
Say that again?
How many minutes should I give myself? 5 minutes to go through the minis?
Aye, just give yourself 5 minutes. Start it in 15 seconds, mate, and then that'll put you bang
Yeah.
on 45 minutes.
And then we'll rattle through it because there is a lot to talk about. They had 3 races anti-clockwise. But yeah,
So, the Scottish Mini Cooper Cup at Knockhill.
3,
Go.
2, 1. Right, here we go. So, right, race 1. Not too much happened. Jack Irvine won. It was a great race. I now realised I probably get my article because I wrote all about it, and that's all notes in there. I'm not plugging this on purpose, I promise. But yeah, so Jack Irvine wins. Liam Kelso wins in the newcomers class, and it was quite minted. We had lap 4 Seeker came out after a crash between Chad Little and Martin Viatonga, which you would have saw coming out the hairpin onto the back straight and into Hislops, where Martin tried to turn right and get behind Chad Little, and Chad went flying off into the barrier on the left hand side. I've seen Martin Viatonga's onboard, and I've heard his onboard when it happened because 360 cameras in the car.
hmm
Believe me, it was not intentional. The second he does it, he is instantly very apologetic, to say the least. Some swear words as well. But yeah, so racing on lap 7, Jack Irvine won. Chris Gould, Martin Viatonga, and Michael Williams had battles with Jim Hitchin as well, all battled for P2. They were free working with the hairpin at one point. But yeah, Coburn had to go to the grass at the hairpin, not the hairpin, yeah, the chicane. And Liam Kelso would take the newcomers win. Viatonga was given a 30-second penalty along with 3 penalty points. So race 2, Chad Little and Martin Viatonga started at the back of the field after the incident earlier on. So Chad Little will come back out with a lot of damage in the car. If you saw it, you would know what I mean. There's a lot of damage on that thing. And they both sort of made a way through the fields quickly. And Presley Barrett and Chris Coburn also had a massive incident at Clark's, which is a bit of foreshadowing for race 3 on lap 2. And then Liam Kelso, Barrett, Holmes, and Liam Kelso would all run 3 wide on start finish straight. Kelso would get a double overtake into the hairpin, which he did brilliantly to do, to be fair. Not because it was well trained, it was just a great move. And yeah, on the final lap, James Hitchin tried to get P2 for Michael Williams, but couldn't get it. And that was that. So Jack Irvine won again, Williams P2, and Hitchin P3, with Kelso again winning the newcomers with front bank and sponsor logo on his car. Race 3.
That's his lucky
Martin-
charm, by the way. It's got to be from the banking sticker on his
Oh,
car.
no, I said
The
this
lucky charm.
because, yeah. So race 3, the draw saw Martin Viatonga start at pole position with Chad Little onside. So coming at Taylor's hairpin, Viatonga would keep the lead. While Little, Michael Williams, and Jack Irvine would all run 3 wide through Hislops, with Irvine going around the outside of both of them and getting the overtake into McIntyre's. Brilliant move, by the way.
That's a difficult move there.
Yeah, a very difficult move, especially after what happened to Ron Cummins. Took a lot of balls to do it. But yes, they were battling the whole race with what's his name? Presley Barrett was up there fighting for like P4, P5. But then out of nowhere on the final lap of the race, you've got Presley Barrett trying to go for a move around the outside of Chris Colburn, and they make contact, sending them both off the road. Presley Barrett drops to P9. Chris Colburn ends up in the wall, but Liam Kelso wins the newcomers. And Martin Viatonga wins in a photo finish versus Jack Irvine to take his first ever win in the minis. So Martin Viatonga, first ever win. Liam Kelso took a full sweep, 3 from 3 people. That is insane in independence. Not independence, the newcomers. And he causes the gap massively to Presley Barrett in the standings. So
1
standings
minute to
now,
go.
Jack Irvine leads still by about 70 points to Chad Little. Behind now, it's a bit closer between Michael Williams, James Hitchin, and Martin Viatonga, with Viatonga and Chris Colburn in 5th and 6th, and a point between them. And Presley Barrett will lead the newcomers at the moment with 11-point lead going into this weekend, where the Scottish Minis will race down at Donington Park National in what's set to be a brilliant weekend, which will be live streamed on YouTube. Did it with 30 seconds to spare. Where's my applause? Go on.
There you go. Well done.
It was a very good weekend for the Minis, I have to say. It was brilliant to watch. Not sure about you, John, but I loved it.
Yeah. I don't think it was the biggest grid we've seen all year, but the guys that came up really gave it their all.
Yeah. I mean, you don't need a massive grid to have good racing. I'll
No,
say
no,
that.
no,
a ton.
definitely not.
You know, a big grid helps, but
Yeah, I feel sorry for the Scottish Minis, and to be fair, because in the last few years it has went from a very sizable grid
Yeah.
They're very
I mean,
smallish, but then you get more room for doing all the overtakes and stuff. They're not just bunched up in a big crowd of cars, I suppose.
yeah. I mean, obviously, you've had a lot of drivers in the minis in the past. I mean, they're posting clips about the last time they were at Donington Park, and it's like a 30-car field. It's crazy. But like we've seen legend drivers like Michael Weddle, he's two-time champion in the minis. Um, there's a very good drivers that go to that mini championship and do well there. It's just a shame that it's sort of not that subscribed anymore. But we should see some more entrances into next season. I believe that there's a chance, keywords a chance, that Ali Chalmers might end up in it from the mod sports. Obviously, the races are many, but I'm sure something with regulations that you couldn't race this season.
Yep. Ali
Due
Chalmers,
to,
for those people that don't know, is a non-ambulance racing driver,
yeah,
so he
I
has
think
no
there was
movement.
some sort of regulation issue regarding the hand controls and the brake. Because I'm assuming it won't be in the regulations that that'll be allowed. So I think they have to edit them for next season and they'll be allowed to race in it.
Yeah,
But it's a very competitive championship, to say the least, minis. As well, I think in the first place, Ali would probably go with mod sports purely because it's I wouldn't say less competitive, but it's less pressure. You
yeah,
know, you don't have so many folk around you, and it helps you to develop a bit more. Like you're not sat there with 20 cars sat behind you trying to get by you.
yeah,
You're in a decently your own area in motorsport, so you're able to just get your head down and get laps done, which is what Ali's doing at the moment, just trying to get his lap time down and down.
yeah.
But he's a very promising driver. He's quick. I think he can be quick. I think
He's
if
quick,
he
but he can be quicker.
yeah, that's what I mean. Um, he's definitely got a chance to give him a couple of years of minis and he can do something well now, I reckon. He's only like 18, 19, so he's got plenty of time ahead of him.
Yeah. You're getting quite the celebrity around the paddock as well. I had seen you getting interviewed by Bart at the
Yeah,
Tooncar
I did.
weekend.
Um, so, right, I'm telling the story. So, I'm at the top of the paddock and at the top of the assembly area, and I'm talking to Liam Kelso and Finn McLaren, and they see the bike streams down there, and they've got it on their phone, and they're telling me to go down and dab in front of the stream, which I'm not even going to question it, but I was getting told to go dab. So I go down with all intentions to go and dab, and then out of nowhere, he's coming over to me interviewing me. So I just got like snap back into like social media like guy mode and just like lock in. And I came back up, I was getting interviewed. Like, yo, I just got interviewed, guys. And then they're like, when did you dab? You should have walked out and dabbed. I'm like, I'm not dabbing on Park's live show. I got interviewed, man. They know you got my dab now.
Talking of dabbing, a big thanks to Liam Kelso for picking up from the banking podcast. One with the sticker on the car, and two with the interview he done with you.
Yeah. Um,
And he was dabbing.
Fair point, yeah. I thought of that. I forgot about that. But yeah, with Liam Kelso, the reason we're saying he's a good luck is a good luck charm for him is his car didn't have the front and back logo on it for qualifying. We couldn't get the logos on the car. So every single time the logo's been on the car, it's been a win in race one, race two, and race three in class. So
Hmm.
he's not gone a session without winning a trophy with the front and back logo on his car.
There you go.
So, right, all I'm saying, right, if you want a bit of good luck, stick a logo on your car. We may or may not pay you. I'm not too sure yet. Um, John's frantically shaking his head. Yeah, we broke.
If anybody's kind enough to put it on, then we'll give you loads of mentions on the podcast and on social.
Yeah, you were made to sound like the Messiah, mate. I mean, it's brilliant. You've heard of him talk about Link Kelso, yeah. But in terms of Caterhams, I didn't catch too much of it. Obviously, there was a lot of wheel arches lost.
There was I think at least 7 or 8 wheel arches sitting in the helmet store underneath race control at the end of the weekend.
Yeah, and there was more next to the bin where I got that fin from. But like, I think the one main fin that I saw from the Caterhams was I think it was the 310Rs. Going to the hairpin, and somebody tried to pull it, make a move for the lead. I'm thinking it might be a CAD, no road sport, no. one of the Caterham series tried to pull out and make a move, and he caught the rear right of the car and went airborne into the hairpin. This guy is airborne until he hits the apex, right? Somehow he kept it on the track. Keeps it on the track on the wide line of the hairpin. I'm watching this from assembly and I'm like, what on earth am I seeing? You know,
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's quite impressive as well, to be fair. Good handling the situation. And the only other thing to talk about, really, at the moment at least, as far as I can think about, we've still got future events talked about with SMRC, is the C1s, which is quite good.
Hmm.
C1s are quite interesting racing. Um, there was quite a bit of a joking about when the Caterhams came in, and there was a C1 deploying DRS, um, which it's quite funny. I think it was
How did our social media friend get on in the
uh
SMT rental car?
James Ash.
I know he was there, but I don't know how he
Yeah.
got on.
Um, as far as I'm aware, he struggled a bit, unfortunately, which is going to happen your first ever time racing, because driving the car is one thing, racing the car is another, Um, the only thing I can remember about the weekend, I think he finished last or second last in most of the races. He did have a bit of a moment coming at McIntyre's at race one, I think,
Right.
ran quite wide, and threw up a lot of dust, but made it out. I mean, end of the day, experience is experience. You know what I mean? I was talking to him quite a lot in assembly over the weekend, and he was saying to me that he probably won't up on the grid next season, but probably try to do a couple more rental rounds, and then maybe 2028 try to get on the grid with the car because it's expensive,
Well,
But
what the way he's doing it, so he's doing it as SMRC, who's the Scottish Motor Racing Club, who we are affiliated with for the marshalling. Have I think it's 2 cars they have,
no one.
which you can rent on a race weekend. Um, Now, I believe it's around about £1,000 for the weekend, but that covers your tyres, your fuel, your race setup, any mechanicals, the car, your entry fees. That covers everything that way. I do believe that if you damage the car, it's still down to you to pay for it, unless you take out some sort of insurance for yourself. But it is a very cheap way of dabbing your toes
Yeah,
into a race situation without having to go out and spend the 10, 15, 20, anything up to 100K to get yourself into a series for a for a
yeah.
for a full season.
I
Um,
mean,
he
I know it's
obviously knows
one.
that he's not there. He's not going to get any championships out of it. He's going to get points if he gets points.
Lee Fisher's in chat.
They
That's
know they're
fair.
not going to. They're not. They know they're not fighting for championships and stuff like that. So it's just out for a really good time.
Yeah.
Right.
So Lee's in the chat saying he's just editing Nash's 360 at the moment, which is quite funny. Talk about coincidence.
Well, he must be the only one that's left in the live stream because we're down to one.
Oh, but yeah. So on about the C1s, it was quite an interesting weekend. There was quite a bit going on. Um, I mean, I'll just go have a look, see what I wrote about it because that's probably helps. Oh yeah, of course. Aidan Wilson did pretty well all the weekend. I'm sure he was at 2 races the race, or was it three? No, 2 races,
I
right?
think they had 3 over the weekend.
Not two,
Yeah.
two. So Aidan Wilson won the first one. Mark Nesbitt won the second one. That's about as dumb done as I'm going to get with it. There is mammoth paragraphs I've written here, which is a bit crazy. Um, but yeah, so it's great racing, really. The whole weekend for C1s. Um, Quite a bit of action going on as well, and it was good to watch. And I can actually watch it because I was in the actual assembly area that time. Which was quite nice to be back where I'm actually used to being. Um, but yeah, so obviously with Mark Nesbitt with the DRS, and John, you were start finish. So do you mind explaining to us why you didn't get the black and orange, or as we all know it, the meatball flag?
Which car was that for, mate?
Mark Nisbet, 61, I think, in the C1s, the one that had the boot open.
Why he got the black and orange?
Why I didn't?
Or why he didn't get the black and orange?
Yeah, because
I
I
never heard
remember it
anything.
happened.
I never heard anything on the radio for him.
Fair enough. Because um, I remember, I think it was April it happened as well, and he got the black and orange then. I had to pull in.
Yeah. The only person I know, well, I don't know the actual person's name, but the only series I know that got a black and orange that weekend was one of the Caterhams, I believe. No, no, might have, were the Legends out in the Caterham weekend?
No,
Probably
Legends
not.
at Croft.
No, because that would have been a triple header, wouldn't it? Yeah, I'm sure it was one of the Caterhams got a black and orange flag because his under tray came loose and it was scraping along the track the whole
Yeah,
week.
no, I remember hearing it. Was that on Sunday?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's the
no, because I
only
remember.
call flag that we flew, and I don't remember anything else over the radio asking or anybody saying this is hanging off, blah blah blah. But
Um,
you got to remember as well, you'll know this. People out there might not know this, but there are 2 or 3 scrutineers that kick about in the pit lane. So if anybody does radio in with an issue on one of the cars, the scrutineers go straight to the pit wall and they will make a decision there and then whether that car has to come in, or whether the car is safe to continue.
yeah, because I remember the scraping for the gate room. I'm sat in assembly trying to grid up a race, and I'm hearing his like ear just as he goes along, because he gets bounced on the start finish straight.
Yeah, I
I
know.
thought he was running a very low ride height on it, like, but it was quite noisy to be fair. He wasn't
Aye.
getting away with it.
I think have we covered everything from the past now?
Well, no, there is one thing left to talk about.
Go on then, because we're over an hour.
Won't be as long this bit, but Legends at Croft
Didn't watch it, so fire in.
wasn't live streamed anyway, mate. But so Legends at Croft, there wasn't actually too much that was able to report on. I can tell you that Angus Scrivener is turned to prime Ben Mason. Um, Getting 6 out of 6 podiums over the weekend on every single podium, winning 2 of them.
Yeah, but I believe that Ben might have had an issue with his car, hence he wasn't racing.
Yes, I'll get onto that in a second. But so if we go to my Flamey joke, it was all really Pete versus Weddle. And Michael's closed in. Although he did have a bit of an incident on race 2 on Sunday, where I asked him about this, and he sent me a video of it. Coming through one of the fast track handles at Croft, there's a tyre stack, and he
Right,
hit it the right side of the car and destroyed the whole right side of the car. And
ouch.
watching, yeah, the video is quite terrifying. To be fair, does not look fun. I'll send it to you after this. Lee, if you want it, so I'll send it to you as well. But yeah, it was quite a hefty hit. He spins to the right and then rolls one to the racing line, but after everyone's gone by, so he's quite lucky that it was only a small grid, really. But Minimax were brilliant. Apparently, they only had 45 minutes to replace the entire right side of the car, and they did it.
Mhm.
Which, to be fair, is why I trust to run the to run the C1, the C1 rental car for the SMRC, because they're brilliant at what to do, you know. But yeah, so overall, Michael's closed in on a Matthew Pape, about 325 points, I think it is, separate them. Well, it's about 200 for a race win. So it's definitely possible for Michael to get that title. Scrivener moves into the top 5. He's 4th now, leading the rookies by a mile and a half. He's just absolutely goated at the moment, it seems. He's found his rhythm. He's doing brilliantly. He's won at 3 different tracks now with Legends, which is fair play. And yeah, we'll get into Ben Mason because obviously Ben wasn't racing at Croft this weekend, along with a lot of cars, but um, I dropped Ben a message and just asked him about why he wasn't there. And unfortunately, yeah, it was. Oh, really? Yeah, okay. Took me a second to read that and fall asleep at this point. um, but yeah, no, I imagine it would have been because it was some job like to get it fixed. Um, just for the listeners later on, Lee's in the chat saying it was really impressive to watch them fix Legend because obviously he was doing it at Croft, the SMRC doing some media work. But yeah, so Ben Mason, as we talked about, he sustained quite a bit of damage at the touring cars Sunday.
Yeah.
And along with engine issues and everything combined, he thinks it cost him around $4,000 to get the car back out, which is a lot of money. So for comparison, it costs about $5,000 for a season in the C1s.
Mm.
So it is not cheap, really. So Ben's in kind of a bad spot at the moment. It's really sad to see, especially.
I don't think it's that Ben's in a bad spot. I think it's more the principle of having to spend X amount of money to get himself back in the championship for a couple of races. Because there's only a
Yeah.
couple of races left. It's probably just not worth it.
I mean, I do feel bad for him because I felt he would still be in with a shot at the championship. Granted, Matthew Pape and Mike Weddle were probably looking the favourites, but Ben was very close and third, to be honest. But it's just unfortunate to see stuff like that happen. It's just not great, really. But otherwise, yeah, it's all your past events, really, in Scottish motorsport and British motorsport summed up in
Yep.
about an hour.
Yeah, summed up in about an hour. But we do have coming up on the 12th and 13th of July, the next rounds up at Knockhill.
July.
September. You know what I meant. The 12th and 13th of September, we've got the next round coming up at Knockhill.
Before we get to that,
Uh-huh.
this weekend,
It's Bon
people
Jovi
are
in
traveling
Edinburgh.
down.
Woo!
People are already traveling down. I'm not sure if Lee's traveling down yet or not. I'm hoping he's not driving because he's in the chat. But yeah, the Scottish Minis were raced at Donington, like I mentioned previously.
Okay.
Which can be live streamed, but it should be a great weekend. They only race twice on the Saturday, and that is it. But it should be quite a good weekend to watch. So if you are near Donington, go watch our favourite series. It's great. We love the SMRC and the Scottish Minis, and we love everybody really. So it's not our favourite, but you get the point. We sponsor a car now, okay? So we can call it our favourite. So you'll see Van Mankin to Donington, even though we're not even there. So massive thank you to Liam Kelso again for his continued support of the podcast. And then the weekend after that, we got Touring Car to Croft, which will be interesting. But we'll get into that next week, I think. And then we get, like you said, next meeting at Knockhill.
Yes. SMRC KMSC weekend, I believe.
Yes, it is. Should be a quite important one.
Should be.
Should be.
See how that goes. But remember, anyone, if you want to go to any of these events up at Knockhill, you can go into knockhill.com/events. Get your tickets on there. They will be emailed to you. You can stick them into your Apple or your Google Wallet. But you can also, as always, buy them on the gate when you get there. Usually the racing will start on the Saturday, or action on the track will start on Saturday around about 9 a.m. Same on the Sunday, with races generally starting about 11 a.m.
Yeah.
So it's a good weekend, isn't it? Up at Knockhill.
Yeah, it is.
People say, oh, it's only SMRC or KMSC, but as we've already described, or as Aaron's described earlier on with the minis and the C1s and stuff, it's close, hard, proper racing.
It's proper close quarters
You
racing.
never know.
Yeah.
We live in Scotland. You may know somebody that's racing in there. You never know.
Yeah, you might, to be fair. But
you've
yeah.
also got guys like me, Aaron, and Amber who marshal at these events.
Yeah, we're all celebrities, guys. Come on.
We've got the great SMRC media team who are about the paddock and around the circuit all day. If you see that they usually have purple high vis tops on with the SMRC logo on the back, media team. If you see anybody with those on, go up and say hello. I'm sure they'll be more than happy to interview you for wherever it is they put their stuff out in the socials and all that kind of jazz. You've also got the many, many, many talented photographers that go about the circuit. One, I believe, is currently in the chat.
Being one of them.
Yep. We also have one, and I'm not saying Lee doesn't do this. Lee, if you're listening, I'm not saying you don't do this. But there is other photographers out there as well that do a lot of marshal photographs. So like I said before, if you're wanting to become a marshal, whether it be Knockhill, Donnycroft, Snet, wherever you want to do it, get yourself into the motorsportuk.org website, get it all filled out on there, get registered on there, do one of your learning pathways, and you become an accredited marshal, and then you can get along to one of your local circuits, and you could be at the side of the track, just like us. And just like a previous guest, Adam the tanker driver. Remember we interviewed him with his
Yes, yes.
daughter? He's got the podcast out there called Dad versus the Teenage Years, and he is now a registered marshal, and he will be very soon going, hopefully, to Croft, I believe, because he stays in Sunderland. He'll be going to Croft to be marshal first event.
Yeah,
And then after that event that we were talking about, I'm not sure there's anything else on. Well, there'll be touring cars and stuff on, but that's by the by. We talk about
still
that then.
sort of circles.
We have the day-night race coming up on the 27th of
We do.
September as well,
So
which is a first for Knockhill, I believe, a day-night race.
yes, it is. So just gonna cover a little bit with the September meeting in the first place. First of all, SMRC will be. I want to say C1s and Fiestas will be there because Minis won't be there in September. I know that, and Historics will be there, and the night racing, Historics, Motorsports, and the Scottish Sport Classic Sports and Saloons. So it's an absolute mouthful. But yeah, if you're going up on September, top 13th, the one bit of advice I can offer you is if you're a fan, let's say SMRC media team, say hi. If you're a driver, especially an SMRC driver, you might want to practice your 100-meter sprint time. That's a joke. I'm joking. They're great. They're a good laugh. But all I'm saying, they moved to finish lyric challenge, and apparently, I got nominated by it for it by the safety car driver. So
Just to
thank
add this in when we're talking about it there, Knockhill on the 12th and 13th of September is currently in the SMRC calendar as an anti-clockwise.
yes, anti-clockwise event. Yeah, double
The SMRC championships that will be running will be the C1 and the Fiesta ST Cup.
bingo. I did my research.
There you go. The KMSC stuff I'm not 100% sure on, but for the SMRC, it's definitely going to be the C1s and the Fiestas.
Yeah.
The two of them, the C1s especially, always there for great racing. Fiestas, I think there's three classes in the Fiestas, is it?
No, I think just Fiesta, is it not?
You get the older one with the XR2s and stuff.
Honestly, I'm not too educated on Fiestas. What I'm finding is like the more I start, I'm gonna plug this now. Basically, I'll just have a minute to plug this. I started a thing called AM Media. Basically, British Motorsport News. If you want to go check it out, go check it out. What I found writing those articles is that the more I watch back races, the more I look at races and what happens, is the more I'm learning drivers' names and learning more about the championship, which is actually quite useful. So yeah, and you'll learn about them reading them as well. So if you want to go read, feel free. I won't force you. But yeah, so September it should be great racing. Obviously we'll have legends back at Knockhill, which are always interesting. As far as I'm aware, they've only raced anti-clockwise once this season, in terms of one day. So it should be quite interesting to see how they handle it. But yeah, it should be a good little bit of fun. Obviously, the motorsports will be back as well. I think SLS are actually at that meet as well.
That'll be the first time this season, will it not? I've not seen SLS.
I think they're in April as well. But they've not been as regular this season. But there's going to be a lot going on, a lot of good racing. Obviously, good night racing as well. As far as I'm aware, that is literally a 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. event. We'll have
It
two
is,
breaks.
but marshals have been given the option to either put themselves down for the whole day or whatever you can do.
Yeah.
Now, I'll be honest, I don't think I'll be doing the full day, especially a 7 a.m. start all the way through to 10 p.m. at night, especially when I'm going to have my family there as well. So I think it's probably going to be a half day for me.
See, this is where living 6 miles from Knockhill becomes really good. Because I can leave my house at 6:30 in the morning and I could be home for 10:30 at night. Meanwhile, John is there leaving at what, 5 a.m. and getting up at midnight if he does the whole day.
If I do all day, I'll be leaving at 5 a.m. and I probably won't get until after midnight. Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
not.
So I'm gonna have great fun being there all night. You can also see with a camera as well, trying to act like Lee Fisher because taking photography, and I need to get some photos on there. So that's what one of my breaks will be used for, getting some photos of the cars on track. While they race, In the
I
light,
think for me, it's going to be likely up after lunch, maybe 1 o'clock-ish type thing. Means I can get my lie in the morning, get up to the circuit for about 1 o'clock. Then I'll see the chief marshal and see what he wants me to do. If he doesn't want me on a post till 4 o'clock, I will head round and do some stuff in the paddock for the socials, probably.
yeah. But there's plenty going to be happening over the next few weeks in British motorsport as well. We're not going to mention British GT going to Donington Park, and there's something very exciting that will be coming to the podcast, which involves British GT and a former touring car racer. So I'll let you figure that puzzle out yourself. It's not that hard.
You're not going to mention it, but you will anyway.
Yeah. I've not mentioned explicitly who or what might be getting mentioned on the podcast, but yeah, so I'm interested in things coming up for the podcast, for Not Kill, for British motorsport. We've gone through Plato Racing, the Donington Park meeting for the touring cars, the catering meeting, the Legends meeting at Croft, and we've gone through a couple of the meetings coming up next. So we're talking to you for about an hour and 15 minutes. At least
So
more,
I
actually.
think, mate, it would be a good time for an outro.
Yeah, I think it would be as well. So I'm going to nick this back, and I'm just going to sit with this here and just act casual. Just, yeah. Hello, everybody. I'm a catering now.
Aye. Well, you did the intro, so you can do the outro.
Yeah, okay, I'll do it like this. Okay, everybody. So you've listened to the Wank podcast for a while. I don't know why we're still here because don't know. But I'm restarting that because John is not happy. Right, hello, everybody. That's on the Front of Mike podcast. I have a catering bonnet and I have a perm. So two very cool things happened while you were gone. But yeah, so you've been listening to the podcast. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully we didn't send you to sleep. Probably didn't because I was talking far too
The
much.
live stream's more likely to send somebody to sleep. The full edit won't because a lot. It will probably out of 1 minute and 17 minutes, 1 hour 17 minutes we've recorded. It'll probably only be about, I don't know, 55 minutes roughly after it takes all the.
Fair enough, yeah. But yeah, so that has been the Front of Mike podcast. We've got a lot coming up. A lot of cool things coming up. And hopefully you like what's coming up. And hopefully that's the podcast today. And hopefully you're listening to this. Because if you are, that's probably a good sign. So yeah, on that note, bye.
Everybody have a good day. See you all later.
Okay, for that's actual podcast couldn't finish. So hello.
Yeah,
Lee.
but this is the stuff that if you're watching it on YouTube on the live feed, then you'll see all these behind the scenes things.
Yeah, you get the behind the scenes. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, which isn't going to last very long because it's already 10:15 and I'm going to bed. I'm old.
Yeah. I'm meant to be up at 5 a.m, so I don't know why I'm still doing this.
You're up at 5 a.m.
Supposed to be.
What's happening in the morning? You're not at school?
Yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to the gym beforehand, but well, I've tried to wake up every single day at 5:30 a.m. and I've failed every single time, so I don't reckon my chances.
That's amazing. Just as we're about to sign off and shut this off, we've got more viewers.
Of course. Oh, yeah, it's just up to 4 viewers. The podcast is done, guys. You're a bit late. This one is like Liam Aaron McDonald.
Aaron says that he's going to the gym in the morning, and I'm saying that I'm going to my bed because I'm going to a Bon Jovi concert in Edinburgh in the morning.
Yeah, fair enough. Also, as well, I forgot to mention at the time. I was talking about this, right? I hope Erin doesn't listen to this podcast because I think that's cool, right? Erin McDonald, who's one of the SMRC Media girls, great person to talk to, just a good laugh, owns a full Haas F1 side pod.
There you go.
So,
sorry, mate, she trumped you on that one.
Yeah, I'm not winning that debate. Who's got the cool piece of car? Yeah, no. But on that note, we'll let you be free.
Yes. Press stop. Shut it down. I think I'm all uploaded anyway.
Okay. Bye everyone. Follow the Cadet Marshall. Follow that Marshall fella.